If the vultures fail to hover at the end of a sacrifice, then you know that something happened in the land of the spirit. Obanje said softly. Ejike, your mother has danced enough of Surugede dance, which is meant for the spirit, and it's now time to set her free. I don't get you, Ada. What do you mean by that? Ejike asked as he turned to look at Obanje. He had gone that early morning to Obanje's house to seek for a solution towards his mother's strange illness, and now he was leading her back towards his house. Ejike, I think there might be a way after all to save your mother, Obanje told Ejike as she escorted him back to his parents' house. Ejike became elated as he heard those words. Really, Ada? He asked to be sure of what he heard. Yes, there is a strong force following your mother that we need to break the bond that binds them together, Obanje said. Strong forces? Ejike echoed after her in surprise. Well, I think your mother belongs to those strong forces of darkness. Is that why she was sent to kill me? Ejike asked. Yeah, or did you not hear what your mother had confessed with her own mouth the other day? Eh? Obanje stopped as she turned to face Ejike. You are doing as if I wasn't there. Ejike stopped also and stared at Obanje, and then he smiled. His dark ebon handsome face lit up as he spoke. I was there, Obanje added, nodded her head, and turned to continue their walk. She was uncomfortable with the way Ejike's eyes were staring at her. His next word stopped her movement. Adam, you are now adding more beauty every day by day. I just noticed it now. You are beautiful, Ada, and I am glad you are my friend. I wish we were something more. Who knows what the future brings? The last part was whispered quietly, but Obanje heard it. After making sure her heartbeat had returned back to normal and her face was no longer red, she turned to face Ejike, who had suddenly picked interest on the sole of his feet. Ejike, we still have much days, time and years, even to discuss more about this. But for now, let's focus on your mother. No? Obanje told Ejike, who nodded his head, and they continued their journey. Once they got to Ejike's home, his mother was still wailing in pain. His siblings were around her, crying and fanning her. Obanje shook her head sideways as she pitied the woman in front of her. She left Ejike's side and over to meet the woman. When she got closer, her beautiful face was squeezed. She turned to face Ejike, then his mother, and back to Ejike, and motioned Ejike to come with her at once to one corner of the house. She doesn't have much time to leave Ejike, Obanje began, only to be interrupted by Ejike. Meaning what, Adabiko? They have decided to take her life tonight, Ejike. Can't you do something, Ada? If not for anything, please save my mother because of me. She is the only parent I have, and my sibling have too, Ejike said as tears began forming in his eyes. I didn't say I won't help her either, did I? Obanje said, rolling her eyes. Biko, stop this your cry. You know I don't like it when I see your tears. Biko, please stop crying. So what are we going to do, Ada? How will you stop these forces of darkness from killing my mother? Ejike asked. He was not worried again, he was only curious about Ada's plan. Obanje laughed out loud. Curiosity killed the bird, Ejike. But anyway, well, here is the plan. Ikenna had just returned from his farm when Adaku came out from the hut and helped with the load he was carrying. Adaku, this one that you came out today to help, I hope you have not quarreled with your daughters. Ikenna asked as he was surprised to see his wife instead of the children. Nai. So you mean to tell me that I cannot help you again? Okay, there is no problem. Next time I will not come out and carry your load yourself, Adaku said in annoyance. Ah, Adaku, I just asked a simple question, Ikenna said as he went inside. Papa Biko, tell us another story, Chika said as they had finished eating roasted yam with red oil. Adaku had long gone to sleep. Yes, Papa, tell us a story, Chinazo chipped in also in support of her twin sister. Yes, Papa, it's been long you told us a story, Obanje said also. Ikenna nodded his head as he heard his 3 beautiful daughters. Chinazo, go and keep the plates we use in eating in the kitchen before I see any story, Ikenna said. Chinazo doesn't need to be told twice. Ikenna cleared his throat and began. There was a time in a very, very far village when monsters tormented little children and teenagers at night. That was a long time ago. The villagers tried to capture and kill these monsters, but all their effort ended up in vain. In this same village, a beautiful girl named Omana lived with her parents. She was very beautiful that princes from far lands came to compete for her heart. One day, Omana's parents traveled to the next village and left her yam and snail to eat. Her parents warned her not to leave the house at night because of the dangerous monsters that roamed the village. They also warned her to roast the yam before the snail because the water from the snail will quench the fire. One night, when Omana's parents were away, she became very hungry and made a fire with the last matchstick in the house. Omana roasted the snail first because of her lust for meat. The water from the snail quenched the fire, and so she couldn't roast the yam. Still hungry, she disobeyed her parents and went out of the house to collect a matchstick from a neighbor. On her way back, she met a very ugly monster that steals beauty from young girls. She tried to run, but she couldn't move her legs. The monster stole her beauty and left her with its ugliness. Since that day, the beautiful Omana, who was once the talk of the village, now became the ugly girl who no one wanted to marry. That is the end, Ikenna said finally. But Papa, what is the name of the story? Obanje asked. Well, you 3 can choose a name for it, Ifeanyi told his waiting daughters. I will name it Omana the Stubborn She-Goat, Chinazo said first. How can she be a stubborn she-goat when she is not a goat? Chika, Obanje said in between laughter. Help me and ask her, oh. Anyway, for me, I will name it Omana the Stubborn Child, Chinazo said. The story ought to be named Omana the Disobedient Girl or Daughter, Obanje said. That is all a good name you all have got. Now it's time for some sleep. Good night, Papa, the 3 girls chorused together and went into their various rooms. Ikenna went inside soon. Why is it that I haven't heard the death of Choma? The queen of the witches asked her fellow coven witches. I am as surprised as you are, my queen, Adaku told the gathering. This is strange. A strange power is daring the almighty powers of Aku. We are going to fish out whoever that is behind this and have him or her dealt with. Tomorrow you must go and check on Choma and see if the sickness has really killed her finally, the queen said, pointing at Adaku with the end of her staff. I will do as you have told me, my queen, Adaku replied. If you see anything that is not right, inform me. In the realm of the gods, Aku was seen hovering around the domain of Ikenga as he patiently waited for the great deity of old. Aku was a smaller god who had once sought help from Ikenga. With the power Ikenga had bestowed on him, he became even more evil and wicked and filled the land with bloodlust. What do you want, Aku? Ikenga's voice rang sharply, true as Aku came out of his thoughts. I came to inform you that there is a strange God that is stronger than you in the realm of the mortals, who has defeated me, Aku said. Do you know the name of this person you just spoke of? Ikenga questioned, his muscle moving in more flexible way. That is why I am here. I am afraid I and my followers are trying to find out where the powers came out from. Find out and inform me quickly. I want to know who dares to challenge me.